Like, see, this morning I was just minding my business, and a friend of mine called me, and he's like, I'm not going to mention his name because it's kind of shy. He's like, yo, have you seen what's going on Twitter? I'm like, what's happening on Twitter? Something's always happening on Twitter. And it's like, Will Smith is out there dishing out slaps at the Oscars, like Will Smith and Chris Rock. And I'm like, what? For real? I'm Nigerian, so we already had the slapping episode that happened earlier in the month, with one of our politicians' wives, two of our politicians' wives, and then there's this one. I'm like, is this the month of slapping?
Oh, so fabulous.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel once again. It's your girl Dumebi Leah, and if this is your first time tumbling my channel, you're welcome. Please subscribe and join my big happy family, and if you are a returning subscriber, you guys know you're the real MVP. Welcome. So today's video is something a little bit unusual. It's going to be a commentary stroke reaction video. I'm just going to be talking about something you guys have probably heard about, the whole fiasco that happened at the Oscars. Oh my god, I feel like if you are on the internet, you would have seen all those memes, you would have seen the video clips, you would have seen people dropping different comments and opinions and stuff. And yeah, I know that I'm laughing because this has actually been my reaction to the whole thing. I found it kind of funny, even though it's not like funny, but it's kind of funny because it's kind of unbelievable, and all I can do is just laugh. And I took the pain to actually go and read like comments. I tried to research on the whole incident on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram. I went to the Instagram handles of both Will Smith and Chris Rock. I went to the shade room. I went everywhere. I read comments, and I was trying to know what people's opinion was, like whose side they are on, what people think about it and all. And I digested the whole thing. I saw the memes. Oh my god, people have been going in. So if you don't really know the story, I'm going to be telling you guys what happened and just give you guys my little 2 cents about it. For those of you who do not know, the Oscars happened, and a movie that Will Smith featured in was nominated, which he actually won. And from what I gathered, it's actually his first Oscar. It's such a big deal, especially for black people. This is the first Oscar award that Will Smith is winning, so it was definitely a pivotal moment, not just for him but for black people as a whole. And I feel like this incident is actually drowning the success of his win. I mean, this guy has been in the industry for so long. He's been a comedian, he's been a rapper, he's been an actor, a very iconic one, a very talented one at that. So the whole black community, a lot of people, let me not just make it a black thing, people love him, and he's had a very good career. But I just feel like, especially beginning with the whole August Alsina thing, for me, maybe he's had drama before that, but with that and then with this as well, there's just been so much. And I feel like I personally don't take him as seriously as I used to. I'm sorry, Will Smith, but with what has happened now, I'm like, what is going on? Someone please, like, does he need help? What is happening, Will? Like, why? Like I was saying, he was nominated, which he eventually won, and then he showed up to the Oscars with his wife, who was sitting, and they were like front row seats at the Oscars. And then the host was Chris Rock. Chris Rock is a comedian. Normally, comedians at this event always roast people in the audience. I feel like if you're going to be in the audience, especially if you're in the front row, you expect jokes to be like they always do it. It's not, I don't think Chris Rock did anything new. He did what he was paid to do, and sometimes these jokes kind of hit below the belt. Yeah, but it's kind of like being a celebrity. Sometimes you just take it. Yeah, you're allowed to feel a certain way, but I think there's a certain extent of kind of reaction that is acceptable, and there's a way you're going to react that's going to be an overreaction. And I think Will Smith definitely crossed that line. So as I was saying, Chris Rock was talking, and he was about to present the next award. Before that, like in between, he was like just giving a little joke here and there, and then he made a joke about Will Smith's wife, Jada. Jada showed up, and she had her hair, like she was completely bald. She looked beautiful, by the way. And then Chris Rock made a joke about it, and he was like, G.I. Jane. See you in the next one. For those of you who don't know, G.I. Jane is a movie about a lady. It was Demi Moore that played that movie. I think I really like that movie. She was badass. You know, her hair was bowed, of course, but that was by choice. Jada's hair being bowed was not by choice, because Jada is actually suffering from a condition called alopecia, where you're losing your hair. I don't think it's life-threatening, but definitely it has its effects on you, you know, because you're losing your hair. You've lived your entire life having hair, and then your hair begins to fall off. I don't think it's going to be fun for anyone. I don't think it's such a rare condition, because I feel like a lot of people suffer from it. So that's alopecia. So she's actually been very public with her struggle with alopecia. Like, so it's expected that because she has put it out there on the internet, that Chris Rock should have known that it was not just her shaving her hair and going bald by choice. It was kind of like what she had to do. And yeah, so maybe he knew about it. He very likely knew about the situation, and the fact that he just joke about it is kind of sensitive. Yeah. And at first when I was looking at it, I'm like, it's just, I mean, I didn't see it as a big deal. I didn't see the joke as a big deal, because I'm like, people go bald all the time. Maybe, I don't know how it is over there, but in Africa people do it as a fashion statement. Some people just choose to be bald. So I didn't think it was something someone should take too personally. But now that I think about it, for someone who has gone through the whole acne journey, if you're new here you might not know, but I had like serious acne at some point last year, and I know how sensitive I was when people talked about it, and they didn't even joke about it. They actually probably expressed concern, like, oh, what are you doing about your acne, this is da. And I felt some type of way. So I can imagine how Jada felt. Yes, it might not be a life-threatening health condition, but it definitely has to do with her self-esteem. And just imagine someone making a joke about it in front of the whole world, because I mean, it was televised, it's the Oscar, it's the whole world. So I can imagine, yeah, it must have rubbed her off the wrong way, and rightly so, because when he made that joke, she kind of rolled her eyes, she didn't laugh. And Will Smith, her husband, laughed. He did, he laughed. And then it was almost as if Chris Rock was already moving away from the joke, like continuing his speech and talking, and about to move into presenting the next award. And then next thing you see Will Smith just strutting with his suit, like walking up to Chris Rock. And then before we knew it, there was and people were like, whoa, like people weren't expecting it. And then he did that, and he just turned. And I think at that point a lot of people were wondering if it was staged, because sometimes these things happen just so that they could get people talking. People watch stuff like this for drama anyways. I mean, drama sells. So, you know, he walked back to his seat, and then Chris Rock kind of like lost his balance and regained his balance, and he's like, I think Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me. And then people laughed. I don't understand why they were laughing. Maybe they thought it was staged at that point. And then Will Smith responded, and he's like, yes, I did. Keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth. He was cussing. I think they both were cussing. And I think, being that it was on TV, I don't think that was nice. You know, first of all, we have him smacking Chris, which is violence, and then we have him cussing Will Smith. That was definitely not a good move. Why on that night? Why? I actually give kudos to Chris. Chris just went ahead. You know, he mumbled a bit. I'm sure he must have been in pain, because that smack was not, oh my god. Like, and Will Smith is kind of like bigger than Chris. I think that's probably another thing, because if he was a bigger person, Will Smith might not have done that, and we definitely know he wouldn't have done that if he was white. So yeah, he felt it was someone he could take on, and he did that. And another thing that got me surprised was that I didn't see any security person come. I didn't see Will Smith being ushered out. Like, he just did it and went back and sat. And I'm sure that what I must have seen must have been the edited version of the clip, because at some point Will Smith went back on stage to collect his award and give a whole speech, and he was talking about how he was being called by people like Denzel Washington and Tyler Perry, and maybe giving a pep talk, or I don't know, they like talks to him to calm him down or whatever, give him some word of advice and all. So I didn't see that part, so I believe what the clips that I saw were not the full clip. But regardless, like, that's not important now. So I think my own thoughts on this is, yes, the joke was tasteless, but number one, I believe you're a celebrity, you're used to that, and I think that's actually the problem, because even with the whole entanglement thing that they had, you know, the whole drama with Augusta Sena, they were already the butt of a lot of jokes, there were a lot of memes and all that about them, so probably it had gotten into too much. And I heard that it wasn't Chris Rock's first time of, you know, taking jabs at them at an award show, so probably there's history there that we don't really know about, plus the one that we know about. Will Smith probably felt it was already too much and he had to do something, which I feel like what he did was wrong. Yes, you were provoked, yes, but your reaction did not match the action. Did you think about, okay, maybe not saying anything, and then when you went up to collect your speech, you would have said something like, oh, I do not appreciate you talking about my wife like that, or my wife is beautiful and regardless of if she's bald or not, and I love her. And you know, you could have turned the situation around to make yourself look like the hero, but what you did, you made Chris Rock look good, because he did not react. He looked like the bigger man, he looked like the better person. You just went out there and made a fool out of yourself. You made yourself look violent, and people are wondering, if he can do this on TV, what does he do when the cameras are not there? Is he the kind of person that will always choose violence? Is he the kind of person that beats people, that runs up on people? Is he that kind of person? Just imagine watching that show with your children, and at that point, kids do not choose violence. Like, why? So guys, it was definitely cringe-worthy. It was awkward. I was looking and I was watching that video and I was like, did that just happen? Like, another thing that I question is, what was Will Smith's motive? Because for the fact that Chris Rock made that joke and you laughed, it means you actually were not offended by the joke. It wasn't reflex. You actually laughed. You found it funny, but then you turned and you looked at your wife, you found that it wasn't funny. So your reaction wasn't because you were offended by what he said. It was because you wanted to defend your wife's honor. And people are coming at you like defending the honor of a woman who basically have led to your name and your family's name being dragged in the mud, made fun of and stuff because of the entanglement, the cheating and stuff like that. You know, people didn't just feel like it was worth it. People felt like she has disrespected you and your marriage even more than anybody, any comedian, any joke could. But that's not what we're talking about here. I just feel like probably he wanted to defend her honor, or he didn't just want to go home and then she would go on and on about how he did not defend her and he just did it. I think he did it because of ego. He wanted to kind of like solidify his manhood, like nobody can come for me or my wife or my family and stuff like that, because you weren't offended by that. You just did it because you felt you had to. So his motives for me were not pure. And then another thing that I found shady was that when he went to collect the award, that man is an actor, because that speech was one badass speech, and he's talking about, he's shedding tears and he's talking about how God has given him a calling to love and to protect people, and then love makes you do crazy things. Love makes you do crazy things is like the silliest excuse in the book. Yes, you love people, but you cannot justify when you do crazy things like going violent on them. Love makes you do crazy things, but there's a limit to the extent of crazy that is accepted or that is legal. As it is now, Chris Rock could sue him, and I mean, if I'm Chris Rock, I would sue so that I get money. Get your money, get your money. So he's talking about how God calls him to love and to protect, and I'm like, yeah, protect. Voltron, defender of the universe, you're protecting by violence. You could have spun that whole thing around, and Chris Rock would have looked awkward. He would have looked embarrassed. He would have been ashamed and had to apologize to you, or better still, you could have trashed it out in the after party or backstage. A lot of people are so disappointed because you are a role model. Yes, that's one of the things that comes with being a celebrity. We know you're human and all, but there's some things that you have to think through. There's more responsibilities on you, like to whom much is given, much is expected, because you are a celebrity. And one thing that I particularly did not like was him coming over there to kind of justify his actions by talking about how he's been called by God to love and to protect. I feel like when people mess up, they try to just, especially black people, they just try to put in God in the mix, put in the devil in the mix, because they said Denzel Washington told him that the moment you're at your highest, that's when the devil came for you. Yes, the devil came for you and you failed. You fell and you fell and you fell, just like Eve when she ate the apple. So they just throw in like God and the devil, and they maybe throw in a bit of mental health sometimes just to get people, people's pity and people's sympathy. And he was given the speech, and I saw a clip of one of the Williams sisters, was it Serena or Venus? I can't really tell both of them apart, and she was like looking all teary-eyed, and like the apology worked. People were applauding this man. People were oohing and eyeing at him after what he had just done, which I believe is not, he went too far. He went too far. I don't know if people are going to cancel him. I don't know what's going to happen, but he definitely lost respect. I didn't like the fact that he went there and apologized to everybody else and did not apologize to Chris Rock. He was wrong. Chris Rock did bad by making that joke, but you did worse. Your reaction did not match the action. You made Chris Rock look like the bigger man, because when you hit him, he didn't hit you back. So that the purpose of you doing that whole stunt that you did was defeated, because you made him look good and made yourself look bad at the end of the day. This is my 2 takes on this, and I just want to end the video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed my commentary. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know. I definitely want to put out more videos like this. I do makeup, so sometimes I may be mixing commentary like this with my makeup, and I hope you guys enjoy it. You guys, I need to state that I did my makeup since morning. I started doing my makeup at around 10 a.m. and it's about 11 p.m. right now, and I couldn't film immediately because we don't have steady supply here in Nigeria, and I don't have a generator currently, so I had to wait, but my makeup stayed put. And believe me, it's been a hot day with the sweat and all that, so I had to state that there's a miracle product that I used. It's called the Alcone Sweat Stop, and I want to recommend it for you guys. Anybody that's watching this video that is also a makeup enthusiast, that thing works. It will help your makeup stay even through the sweat and whatever. Your makeup is not going to run no matter what happens. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So this is the Alcone Sweat Stop, and this is a miracle product. I definitely will be using this whenever I'm going out, and I don't want to sweat and I want my makeup to stay put. So I just thought I'll share that little tip with you guys. Let me end the video right here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and to drop your comments. What do you guys think about the whole fiasco? Did you find it funny? Do you think what Will Smith did was right? I understand the concept of protecting your family, but there's some things you still just don't do. It's still not acceptable. Would you have done what he did? Would you have acted like Chris Rock? Would you have been able to take that and just be professional? He was so professional. I have to end it here once again. I've been saying it like how many times. So you guys, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.